After a dramatic breakup with Trump, Narendra Modi has turned toward Beijing. His recent meeting with Xi Jinping at the SCO Summit marks a major shift in Modi's anti-China politics, one that could redefine Asia's balance of power. Narendra Modi has often projected himself as a leader tough on China. Since the 2020 Galwan Valley clash, where 20 Indian soldiers were killed, his government branded Beijing not only as an adversary but also accused it of backing Pakistan to destabilize India. Yet, behind the scenes, economic ties stayed strong. By 2023, bilateral trade had soared to $136 billion, even as India's deficit with China crossed $100 billion. This contradiction, military tension at the border but flourishing trade, set the stage for Modi's surprising pivot in 2025. At the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Beijing, Modi met Xi Jinping for the first time in 6 years. The optics were striking: warm handshakes, red carpet treatment, and a pledge from Modi that India and China should be seen as partners, not rivals. Observers noted the symbolism immediately. For a leader who had built his political standing partly on being anti-China, this meeting was nothing short of a U-turn. For 2 decades, India's foreign policy leaned heavily toward the United States. Under Modi and Donald Trump, ties seemed stronger than ever. Trump called Modi a true friend, while both countries deepened military cooperation through joint drills like Malabar and signed multi-billion-dollar defense deals, including a $3 billion package for Apache and Chinook helicopters in 2020. Washington viewed India as the critical counterweight to China in Asia. For New Delhi, the US meant advanced technology, energy access, and global influence. That foundation cracked after the 2025 India-Pakistan conflict. Though India held its ground militarily, the war drained its economy and exposed vulnerabilities. Instead of rallying behind New Delhi, Washington grew cautious. In April 2025, the US imposed tariffs of up to 50% on Indian oil imports from Russia, citing sanctions. The impact was severe. India imports around 85% of its oil, and by 2022, Russia had become its top supplier with over 35% share. The tariffs triggered a spike in energy costs, adding pressure to an economy already slowing. Growth projections dropped from 7% to just 5.2% in 2025. Faced with this squeeze, Modi sought alternatives. His Beijing visit was not just a diplomatic courtesy, but a calculated move. The meeting with Xi reportedly covered energy, trade, and border stability. China hinted at opening markets for Indian pharmaceuticals, IT, and agriculture, and even at easing restrictions on Indian tech companies. For India, these offers looked like lifelines. Beijing, already India's top trading partner, framed the meeting as a restart of relations. Still, skepticism runs deep at home. The memory of Galwan and the ban on 200 Chinese apps remains fresh. Security analysts warn that military tensions in the Himalayas could flare up again. Critics argue that Modi risks looking inconsistent. Once the defender against Chinese aggression, now the leader seeking its embrace. But supporters say pragmatism is the only option. India cannot afford to alienate both Washington and Beijing when its economy is under pressure. The SCO Summit thus became more than a regional gathering. It turned into a stage for India's foreign policy reset. By speaking of a new era of Asian cooperation, Modi signaled a willingness to explore a multipolar path, no longer tying India exclusively to Washington, but also testing a closer relationship with Beijing. As Modi's China visit concludes, India's once rock-solid alliance with the United States looks uncertain. Whether this outreach to Xi signals a lasting Asian realignment or just a temporary detour, one fact stands out: New Delhi is navigating uncharted waters, caught between old partnerships and new necessities.